We're on the bottom, page 26, and he says here, "La'alon Navi haros v'ashlamoshem lumadim acherim lodiacha she'im kol arocha l'shichzerav shel Yafeh." Even though this fellow Yafeh we talked about last week came up with this idea of pre-Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Akiva, post Rabbi Akiva, and then the ultimate fixed luach. Some of which he writes we can take exception to. Aleph, I don't know who the first two people are. Third person is very famous, of course. Aleph Akiva Koser the Masal Lucifer Shel Yafeh. He writes the introduction to this book. Hanachosav, the assumptions, Maskanasam, conclusion Shemachabrenu of our author. Lo Tamim Adayosei. They're not always scientific. Bimlo Muvan Amila, in the full meaning of the word. The Famin Gover Bohem Hayisod Adimyoni. And sometimes there is there's a strong current of imagination in that. Professor Aleph A. Franco writes, he accepts, generally speaking, the perspective of Yafeh of the gradual development of Luach, but he believes that the cycle of 19 years without setting, in fact, the specific details of which are going to be the leap years. Rabbi Nachum Kosher, of course, is much more famous than the first two. Mechaber Torah Shlema Doche Betokev Shitas is a Shitas Ma'achri Chasimas Haluach Lemsa Me'er Tishi. He rejects strenuously the opinion that pushes off the definitive conclusion of Luach to the middle of the 9th century. Imzas Mevi Shita Shafi Yesh Makom Achres Chasimas Luach Zman Chasimas Talmud. He does bring an opinion that the final fixed luach was after the Chasimas Talmud, which means after the year 500.
Okay.
Another one who tried to reconstruct the history of the calendar, who Chesyud Bornstein, Sheshmon is Karbas Hifrein is at Pamim Rabos in Shemosho Tzadik Yafeh. Kavya, that's one of those other guys, made up Bornstein Shedvar only Abazis Madai Tahor. Where Bornstein wrote is purely scientific. He's very careful in his hypotheses. William C. Frost or Mamar Bornstein Yun Rab. So Bornstein evidently deserves some credit. Chai Bornstein Mitzadik Yafa Yuchaberim, they were friends. The Dam Mshuta Bayo Shonashisu Michaim, and they together explored problems which arose in their researches. Usually they reach similar conclusions. That's the reason their names are wrapped together. He has it as later than 825. Well, 825 is that's 825, not 825. That's 4,625, which is approximately the early 800s. So 865. No, not the late 800s. 865. In his opinion, only that late date was the cheshbon of Molados fixed, which I doubt. I assume that the Molados were fixed earlier. Okay, so now we have on page 27 the important letter, which is only found in the Cairo Genizah. It was not people not aware of it until it's found in the Cairo Genizah, as we shall see momentarily. Michtabo shel Rosh HaGola, Michtav the Exelarch. Which corresponds to the year 836.
No, 7. Wait a minute. Oh, 836. Fine. Okay.
836 CE. It's a definitive proof that so this is obviously the conclusion of our author, Mr. Rabbi Sher-Shalom, הכהן, that the Lach Ivri was only definitively concluded after this date. Shnas Daf Tuf Kup Tzayke Lebria Lebrachis. Shnas Dal Tuf Tzayk Vav Yitzira. Okay, I'm not sure why he has to point that out, but anyway, if you have Michtav Siman Hashon who Zayin Ches Gimel. But the point is that according to the Cheshbon, going back either to Bria Olam or the year of Tohu before Bria Olam, it should have been Zayin Ches Gimel. No, it was according to the letter. Zayin Ches Gimel. Shlosh Lefi Klal Yaluach and Hugim Hayom Tzurich Hialios Zayin Shin Hey, which I assume will explain. Mitach Chashuv Yakar Zeh, this significant letter, Matzah Reb Yosef Manan Genizah Mitzrayim Universitas Cambridge. As we know, Solomon Schechter stole the Genizah from Egypt, and he brought it to Cambridge University, and he achieved part of his fame by publications which he made from that from the stolen Genizah. And evidently there were obviously researchers who went on and discovered other aspects of the Genizah afterwards. He completed the letters and words and letters which are missing. 35. Hatkufa is, I believe, the sefer by Rabbi Rahamim Sher-Shalom, right? I think you gave me that book, right? No, that's sefer Tarikh Israeli. So I'm not sure what Hatkufa is. Because of its great significance, so I translated, but brought down here in its totality. Arami, in its Aramaic source, Targum Ivri Shiur Mushura, and in its English translation, word line for line, as a Targum Ivri Asalafi Bakashosi, Dodi Hayakar, Professor Reb Ezra Tzadik Melamed Neiro Yoyer. Okay, so this we're just going to read the Hebrew, which is in this box in the middle on the left. Shenia Kulana V'Kol Yisrael Gud Achas. We should all be one group. B'Chodashim in months and in Yom in the holidays. This is the minhag of our forefathers in the yeshivas until this point. It's the 1147th year for Minyan Shtoros. Minyan Shtoros started when Alexander conquered Eretz Yisrael. Which is the year 4,595 since the creation of the world. Liberation, sorry. Even though in terms of Cheshvan, Kislev, and Teves is not supposed to be one of the months which fluctuate. The Molad comes late. Nevertheless, since the moon of Nisan was put into the sky on the third day, it was the fourth day. No, I guess the sun was during the day, and the moon was on the third day. That's interesting. I don't know. Maybe he'll explain it, because in the Chumash itself it says these all the Moras are put in the sky on the fourth day, not on the third day. I feel came Mishum B'Yom Shishim Shas Arishos in Aber Shleimim. If since then we would make leap years into whole years, I guess 385 days. Take my social Nisan Chamishi. The Shabbos, then this will come out on the 5th, on Thursday. And it would be according to its way it was set in the west. The Miskalkim Moados and the Yom would be ruined. I have no idea what he's talking about. I hope for this.
He's talking about this year. In other words, how to set things in this particular year that he's writing.
Yes,
not about Bereshis.
Right. Sounds like you're right. So I'm not. I guess if it would have been, okay, I was going to have to explain it. But also you can see from Shar, we can't do it the normal way we do it. Because then Pesach will come out on a Wednesday. Below B'du Pesach, and Pesach can't come out on Wednesday. But Lama B'du Pesach, why can't Pesach come out on a Wednesday, or for that matter, Monday or Friday? Below Gehaza Teres, and Pesach can't come out on a Tuesday, Thursday, or Shabbos. Mishum lo adu Rosh Hashanah. Both of them are account. So the next Rosh Hashanah won't come out on a Sunday, a Wednesday, or a Friday. Ina said Pesach b'Sheni b'Shabbos because you make Pesach on a Monday. Yochel Rosh Hashanah b'Rvi. Then Rosh Hashanah come out on a Wednesday b'Shabbos. Yom Kippur and Erev Shabbos. Yom Kippur and Erev Shabbos. V'Yev Shar mishum kvuras hamesim. And you can't do that because then you're won't be able to bury mason for 2 days straight, and they'll start rotting. Pesach b'Rvi, b'Shabbos you make Pesach Wednesday. You'll Rosh Hashanah b'Erev Shabbos, and Rosh Hashanah come on Erev Shabbos. Yom Kippur b'Echad b'Shabbos. Yom Shar b'Shuk b'Res Mason, same problem. Halin shtei Mason Shabbos Shabbos because then you'd have to make Libor and Mace for 2 days of Shabbos. 1 day is Shabbos, 1 day is Yom Kippur. Now, it's a Pesach Erev Shabbos, then Yom Rosh Hashanah be'Echad b'Shabbos. V'Yosham Shum Yontav Gadol Sharava. That can't happen because then the Rosh Hashanah Rabbah will come out. Shalichu Yom Rabbah Shabbos will come out on Shabbos. V'Yosham Shalo Yasu Chodoshim Chaserim, and you can't make the
months all short. What? Can't make all the months short.
Hey, but it sounds like a double negative. It's not possible not to make these months chaser. Mishum Nisan shleis kalkei areach. So you shouldn't have ruined that molad. Ve'ein sheil b'maisa kazeh shekach asu. So there's no question about this, and this is what they did. In other words, they made some sort of exception that year. In other words, that year would have been fouled up, and they have to make some sort of exception and add a day somehow, right? That so they made Cheshvan, Kislev, and Tebes evidently 30 days.
Okay.
Ubnei Chabura, Shodei Rosh Chabura, Ubnei Chabura, the Chacham Eretz Yisrael, Chaserim. I don't know what that means. Sh'onu Samchim Aleihem. I know Chaserim means something missing there. Maybe it means Chasidim. I have no idea what that means. She'ir Shalosim Shlo Kasidron below Shleimim. You can't make them neither Kasidron nor Shleimim. I have no idea what this means. Hopefully he'll explain it. So that Am Yisrael should not be different groups. Or relied on the Ibor which was sent to our friends in Eretz Yisrael. Okay, what does that mean? So he says here in the middle, Rosh Hashanah Michtav Anal, Shishnas Dal Tov Kuf Tzadik Hey Lebracious, Shishnas Dal Tov Kuf Zabal Lemini Yatzira Shonu Monim Hayom. Tiyer Shana Chasera. It's supposed to be Shana Chasera. Rosh Hashanah Chal b'Shabbos. Rosh Hashanah will come out on Shabbos. Pesach will be Yom Shlishi. Pesach come out on Tuesday. Klomar Sima Shana Yeh Zion. Rosh Hashanah Shabbos. Ches. It's going to be Chaser. Gimel. Pesach come out on a Tuesday. Rosh Hashanah Masbir Madua Lo Nuchal Shana Kasidra O Shlema. Explain why we can't, but they both do have to be Chaser. Can't make it 130, 129, and can't make them both 30. Lo Nuchal Shlema. Can't make it both 30. Shalazichu Pesach Yom Chamishi. Pesach come out on a Thursday. Kimon Shemon Nisan Chab Yom Shlishi Bar Boashos. And since Nisan is going to come out on Tuesday, 4 hours, like you're right, that year, it's going to come out that way, right? It's possible the moon will be seen on the Wednesday evening. That will be evidence to undermine the reckoning which we possess. Now, there's an important point to make, which is nowadays, the only molad we're concerned with is Tishrei. We don't take into account any other molados. But clearly, back then, for some reason, they were taking account also a molad, at least of Nisan. saying if the Moed Nisan is too early relative to Rosh Chodesh, it's going to undermine the prestige of our calculations, right? And therefore, it would be unacceptable. It would undermine the acceptance of the Lelach. So therefore, you can't make Rosh Chodesh Nisan on a Thursday. Okay. If the Molad is on a Tuesday, and therefore the moon was likely to be seen on a Wednesday, so you can't make Rosh Chodesh Nisan on a Thursday. We can't make it Kisidra, which means that Rosh Chodesh would be on Wednesday. So Yachul Pesach be on Revi, because then Pesach on a Wednesday. Then no Gelak via Lo B'du Pesach, and that's opposed to Lo B'du Pesach. Madua Lo B'du Pesach. Why can't we say Pesach on these 2 days? So Rosh Hashanah be May Adu, so Rosh Hashanah doesn't come out on one of the days it's not supposed to come out. Yom Kippur, Yom Shabbos or Rava of Shabbos, so Yom Kippur should come out either before or after Shabbos, and Hoshana Rabbah on Shabbos. Okay, so and now he says Chashivas Hamichtav Lidias Divrei Mei Ibur Ein Aroch Chashivas Social Michtav Anal. There's no estimating the value of this letter. Lidias Haluach Evrim Bitkuvazu in answer to knowing about the Jewish calendar from this period. L'chein Abenu Kamishlim Musadasi brought up here in its totality. So here are some conclusions which we reach from him. Comes out clearly and definitively. So siman now that the siman for that year who's zachag. So according to our klalim, as he said before, it should be zasha. Shabbos on Rosh Hashanah on Shabbos. The both it should be shlemos. Both months should be 30 days, and the Pesach should come out on Thursday. So we would make Pesach on a Thursday, because again, as I said, we don't care about the molad of Nisan. The only molad that we care should be close enough to the new moon, to Rosh Chodesh. I'm sorry, in order that it shouldn't look like a joke. Is Tishrei. We don't care about Nisan.
Okay.
But obviously, back then they still cared about Nisan. Okay. So the and as he says, Mola Nisan is carved Michtav Nitan the Pirushim Shonim. He says the Mola Nisan mentioned this letter has various interpretations. L'chein ein on yodim bevados maya cheshman lo shaya nogos. I guess I don't know. Fi cheshman lo shalonu Mola Tishrei Shoshnas Dalet Tat Ketzav, who Vav Chabeis Taras 6 hours on Friday, 22 hours and 660 Chalakim. Well, Nisana Gimel to Tatya was Tuesday, 15 hours into the day, and 411 Chalakim. When did he say it was?
811.
What?
811.
811, sorry, but he said the Rosh Galusa said it was
in the 4th hour.
4th hour, yeah. Okay, big different discrepancy. That's 11-hour discrepancy. And their basis Shmir al Achdus Ha'uma. We have to preserve the unity of the nation, Umnias Purvam, and prevent disunity, which of course, by the time Rasadi comes along almost 100 years later, was not Rasadi Gaon's cheshbon, because obviously he was not going to submit to Eretz Yisrael. Chachamim bava madgishim sheim somchim chachamim Eretz Yisrael b'kliyas hashonim b'chol mikreh. Mikan nitan labin sha'oz terem gubshu aklalim b'ofen sofi. If the klalim already existed, they didn't have to rely on anybody else, right? So therefore, it must be that the clothing were not definitively structured at that time. Now, if you're yeshivish, what do you do with this? You say the letter was in the Genizah. Letter's going to Genizah for a reason, right? If the letter's in the Genizah, there are Spurgeons who says the letter is authoritative. So that's a very convenient thing to do and dismiss the entire issue, right? If you're not yeshivish, then you have to grapple with it. That's the question, how he's going to grapple with it. So in the rest of this page, which we can go on to now, we can leave for later, he is going to try and deal with the issues which are raised with the by the letter of the Reish Galusa. You want to stop here for today? You want to go on now? But
what looks like the left-hand column, Michtav Rosh Hagolah Yichor Timati Ibor.
Yeah.
Let's do that bit.
Okay. Michtav Rosh Hagolah Yichor Timati Ibor. From here we see Shebishnas Dal Taktav Hishnas 836. It's Viras Hanotzrim 836. Come here. Lo Nagul Fi Klal Lelוח Every Anogim Ayom. It wasn't according to our klalim. Simana Shishnas Dal Taktu Lefi Aklam Nugim Ayom Uzasha. Siman Shedivrei Rosh Hagolah Simana Shana Zachag. Obetem Nigla Michtav. Now before this letter was revealed. Higia Chokrim Bornstein b'Yafel Maskana. They conclude Shaluach Every Klishu B'Yadenu Hayom Nechtam Sofis. It was finally sealed. Kechamesh Shona Achrei Reb Hillel Ben Yoanasi. Maskana Yizu Higia Asmach Tarichim Shimtzu B'Tudos Shtaros Matzevos V'Chulei. They did this based on documents of Shtaros, Matzevos, etc. Sher Lo Itim L'Kliyas Hashanah Pia Cheshbonos V'Aklol Hanugim Hayom. Which didn't jibe with our contemporary principles. To those who try to contradict these proofs, but Rosh Golah's letter put an end to that. That's the yeshivish thing to do. You just ignore whatever proof there is in this letter. Perak Yud shel Krach Yudav shel Torah Shlema Krach shel Gdash Kul and Yana Ibor, which is completely about the Ibor. Saram Nachon Kashi Stor Shitas Ma'achriach Chisum. As Hirosav Mafrich V'Tzura Yisodis Hamruman Aleph Akavia Ma'amar Mitzion Sefer Miuchad Linyane Ibor Sinai Krach Lamed Adam Shalokras Ochosayim Shel Chokrim Bornstein Yofav Akavia. Somebody who hasn't read those works. He's liable to accept the contradictions of Rav Kasher like as persuasive. So if you think that Rav Kasher was right, I suggest you look for an answer to the question. How can you say it's chassid b'shalosh lifi klal lelוח every anogim ayom shanozu tzricha lios shlema? Rav Kasher pashut misalei me'achacha brura zu. Kasher simply ignores this simple proof. Okay. We should look at the first column, the meaning of cheshbon amalodos, and we'll finish with that. Cheshbon someone took over the cheshbon ya mola nisan b'shnas shana. Now it should be gimel tu tatiyah. Yom Shlishi, Shat Ezvav, Tatya Chalakim. Rosh Gomet saying, Bamina, Shemola, Mamichtov, Bichtavo, Shemola Nisan Yochul Biyom Gimel Barba Shaos. Hachokrim Chalukim Ferush Shal Shaos. So there's a problem, right? How to explain this? Bornstein, Mebina Sasha Arba, Shemitchila Seima Ha'ivris, Hamaschila Ba'erev. That's not, it's from Shkia the night before. Peace and Tanuchel, Mamichtov now. So then their cheshbon malados was different than ours. So we're cheshbon malados michtabos Rosh Hagolah misaches l'shita l'fiomonim shtei shos l'layla shtei shos l'yom. It's according to the opinion that there are 12 hours in the night and 12 hours during the day. For Rosh Hagolah mer ala molech, in other words, the shos manios. They're not actually fixed hours on the clock. He's saying he's talking about 4 hours into the day, not into the night, which is much closer to 15 hours, right? 15 hours is starting from Shkia. When the Rosh Hashanah says in 4 hours, that's starting from sunrise. uh, uh, uh,
Galusa,
Racham Yafeh, but the whoever that is says that Eno Goreis Sha'os Fishishim Achacham Man Hanal takes out the letter Shin Ayin, I guess. Ella Yodos measures. O Dankos six Sixths. O Shtus, which means the same thing. 4/6 of an hour. Klomar fi beruza chama nisla fi cheshbon amola bizmano shlosh agola. B'yom shlishi baboker, yom Tuesday morning, b'shnei shlish shal rishona, 2/3 to the first hour. 6:40 lefi shon yameinu baboker. Moled zeh matim l'cheshbon lodo sheshichzer yofel kufa. This works out evidently with the Moladas based on the Yofe's reconstruction. And also it explains the Sfekos which Rosh Gola had. Cairo, he was cooking Lachrosim Shlachmei Yisrael in order to get the Chachmei Yisrael to intervene. That's Professor Casuto. Which I thought is what he said before in the name of some other Chacham. He was talking about Chalokim. Rabbi shows me a book 16 shows mitchilas halayla. I thought that's what he said before, but by the name of Yafa. I don't know what this difference between Kasuto and Yafa is. Anyway, so there are attempts to reconcile the Molad issue. There's still a problem, the difference between Zasha and Zachag, but the Molad issue can be resolved. Okay. Fine. So I think we'll stop here.
Sure.
And then we'll see. I'm not sure yet what page we're going to do next. So because skip 28 and just go to 29. We'll probably have to do the middle box on 28.
We want to do the bottom of 27 next time?
I don't think it's necessary. I think because that's he wants to this is his own hypothesis as to how things developed over time. But we can. I'm not saying we don't have to, that we shouldn't do it. I'm not. We'll see. Okay. I'll take a look and make a decision.
All right. You have to send me your mamar on Machloket of Samyagon and Ben Meir.
Yeah. Okay, Mir Hashem. We'll do. Okay.
All right.
Take care.
Well,
bye.
Take it easy. Bye.